Hi, everyone. Today I want to talk about something I think is deeply misunderstood about ADHD, and that's emotional reactivity or dysregulation. For years, ADHD was described as an attention disorder or deficit, but if you actually live with ADHD or work with it clinically, you know that attention is only part of the story. Many people with ADHD struggle with emotional intensity, rejection sensitivity, irritability, shame spirals, or feeling that their reactions are too big. So, what's actually going on neurologically? Let's look at something called the triple network model or theory. The three brain networks. There are three large-scale brain networks that help regulate our mental life, in addition to many others, but the first is the default mode network. This is the network that activates when you're thinking about yourself, replaying conversations, imagining the future, ruminating. It's your internal narrator or storyteller. The second is the central executive network. Sometimes we talk about executive functions. This one helps you focus, plan, inhibit impulses, hold information in working memory. And think of it as your braking system or the task positive network when you are doing a task. The third is the salience network. This one is incredibly important. It decides what matters. It scans for threat, novelty, and social significance. It also helps switch between thinking and doing. And closely connected to the salience network is the amygdala, which acts like an alarm system. It detects danger, especially social danger. So, what happens in ADHD? In ADHD, the issue isn't that people have too much emotion. It's that these networks don't coordinate as smoothly. Here's what happens. Something small happens. Maybe someone's tone changes. Maybe you get a short email. Maybe someone doesn't respond to a text. The salience network flags it as important. The amygdala activates quickly. That emotional surge happens fast. But the executive network, the braking system, is slower to come online, or maybe even cut off. So there's a gap between feeling and regulation. And then the default mode network kicks in and starts telling a story. They're mad at me. I messed up. I'm too much. This always happens. And now you're not just feeling an emotion, you're inside a narrative loop. That's emotional dysregulation in ADHD. It's a network switching issue. Why this matters? When you don't understand this, people internalize it as, I'm dramatic. I'm unstable. I must have a personality disorder. I'm just bad at relationships. But what's often happening is a fast alarm, a slower break, and a sticky storyteller. That's very different from a character flaw. Why medication sometimes helps. Stimulant medication increases dopamine and norepinephrine in the prefrontal cortex, the area involved in executive control. That can strengthen the braking system. That's why people on medication often say, I'm less reactive on medication. Not numb, just less hijacked. What therapy is actually doing, when we teach skills like pause before responding, name the emotion, opposite action, mindfulness, and self-validation, all from DBT, by the way. We're strengthening network flexibility. We're improving switching. We're helping the braking system come online sooner. We're quieting the rumination loop. So the big reframe: ADHD, emotional reactivity, is not a mood disorder by default. It's not weakness. It's not immaturity. It's often a coordination problem between brain networks. And coordination can improve. If this resonates, I'd love to hear your experience in the comments. And if you're interested in more content about ADHD, emotional regulation, dissociation, or trauma-informed models, that's what I talk about here. See you next time, and please subscribe.